Welcome to today's Gold Show, week 10. You'll want to stick around until the end because we're announcing the winner of a shining 1 ounce silver coin. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of finance. Let's start with some big news. Paul, what you got for me?
Well, Drew, I'm going to jump in because there's lots coming out, lots going on. Let's not forget, we're getting closer to World War III, which is brilliant for gold. Sounds really horrible, but it is brilliant. Yeah. Gold cuts last week's prices, rebound in half as China's demand sinks. So gold prices slipped a little bit. That's a bit worrying, but not really, because we all know what gold is running like at the moment. You know, here it is here. Shanghai PM fixes differences in US ounces. So that's down. And then the London spot bullion price, though, is up. So, James, can you give us a heads up on this? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's just a reaction in the world, isn't it? Everything's connected, isn't it? It's fascinating when you look at the results. To us, it doesn't bother us. It really doesn't. I would rather, this might sound strange, but I would rather us not have the wars in the world and all the conflict that we have right now. And if the price of metals come down for a bit, that's fine. You know, it really doesn't. It doesn't concern us at all. I mean, it's down. It's the price is down 2.7% over the whole month. Okay, that isn't a lot to us. That's just a buying opportunity. It's not a good. I know it sounds strange, but I actually get more excited when the prices go down, because when I see the dips, if I've got extra cash, I'll buy more because I know they'll just bounce back up, and I expect it to bounce back. And it's bounced back this morning. Actually, it jumped up a good few dollars this morning, so it's on the rise again. But it's up 3.78% is gold from its low this month. So it's up more than what it's down. So
fantastic.
So that's probably the best way to look at it.
The other thing as well, wars are inflationary and gold loves inflation. Yeah. They have to print money to bankroll wars. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And it sounds horrible, but as long as this is going on, gold will do nothing but rise.
Yeah. Because they have to print, don't they? Have to get the printing presses on overdrive to pay for the wars, which creates inflation, the amount of currency in the system, etc., etc. It's a massive knock-on effect. Well, if you understand the way it works, the way we do, then you can put the ball in your own court. You can actually benefit from it rather than do what everyone else does and just saves in currency in a bank. You can just do what we do, just purchase metals along, instead. Replace currency with precious metals. I mean, silver, looking at silver, by the way, that is doing, silver is following the same path, but it's always more exaggerated. If you look at the numbers, silver always seems to drop more than what gold does, but then when it does go up, it goes up more than what gold does. And it's following the same path as what gold is right now. Because silver's down 5.48% this month compared to gold at 2.7%. But it's still up from its low at 2.84, which means that, if we were buying today, we don't even look at gold because it's silver all the way. Silver went up to 88 nearly yesterday. The ratio is below 87 now, but it's a perfect time to purchase silver at these points of extreme. When it gets up to the late 80s and 90, the ratio, and any higher than that, if it got up to 100 again or 120 like it did in early 2020, then I think I'd sell my house, the cat, the dog, the lot, and I'd be buying silver. But yeah, it's up at them extremes again. It's a great time to buy silver or switch gold to silver if you bought gold in the 70s, in like the mid 70s.
So what you're saying, James, if we see you on camera and you haven't got a shirt on, it means you've sold it to buy silver.
Oh yeah. I wish I had back in 2020 when it was about 120. I think the gold silver ratio went to, if I had a lot of spare cash there now, I would have sold my car, everything, and put it into silver, and then waiting for the ratio to come back. Because the further it goes to the extreme, the stronger it comes back. It's like an elastic band; it can only go so far, and then it'll just ping back. And But yeah, if you understand this, you can truly benefit from it. But this is why we're here. This is our job, to bring this information to the masses, to help them do this. The wealthy know this, but the normal average person, hardworking, white van driver, I call them, hard-working families, don't understand this.
I have a story for you guys. This week, Florida officials and FBI recover 1 million worth of stolen gold coins from 1715 shipwreck. That's a long time.
Imagine having that in your hand. I'd love to see what quality it was. I'd love to get them actually checked out to see what are the metals that are in them coins and how much actual gold is in them coins. I'd love to know the actual the quality of them, you know, and get my hands on one.
James, I've got another story here. Just because you mentioned about silver, I feel this is quite poignant to bring up now. This is from the Gold Telegraph on X. Silver is expected to record its 4th straight year of shortages in 2024. Supply deficit, this is not sustainable. Now, for the audience, James, what do they mean by silver shortages?
Yeah, they're just not pulling it out of the ground the way they should be, and it's being used. No, I'm trying to keep it simple again. The uses are going up. There's less of it being pulled out of the ground. I think only last time I looked into this, I think it was under 30%. Only 30% of all the mines in the world are actually they're actually mining for silver. Silver's a byproduct of every other metal. So whatever affects, there's so much regulation that goes into mining, etc. When they're actually going to dig mines, and there's a lot of hoops they have to jump through to be able to do that in the first place. You know, to do with health and safety and things like that. You know, to make sure everything's above board. But if they don't mine for other metals, which there's so many, like I said, hurdles they have to jump over to get to that point to mine their metals, then the metals aren't getting mined and silver's not getting mined. But there's just less of it, and silver gets used up to the extreme. It gets used up compared to what gold is hoarded. So there's a massive difference, and I've seen it year after year after year, where this deficit keeps shrinking, but the demand keeps growing. I mean, it can only go one way. But look at it again at the minute. Silver, if you look at the charts, silver is still so cheap again. It went up to like $35 an ounce, and now it's back down to what did I say? It was 31 today, 31. Well, it's under 31, isn't it, today? So for me, it's an opportunity. It truly is an opportunity of a lifetime. It might sound a bit cheesy, but it's true. Yeah.
Well, the silver import numbers from China and India are astonishing. Together, they're importing like 70% of global silver mine production this year.
They understand what's going on. I think isn't Russia looking at purchasing silver also for the first time, their central bank? Yeah, it's just understanding the world and how it works. So, we hear this all the time where people say they can't afford to buy precious metals. Anybody can afford, most people can, to buy a coin every now and again, a 1 ounce silver coin or something, or anyone can get started in silver. So you're better to get started today and just hold it, rather than keep saying you can't down the line. Just buy it and hold it for as long as you can. And you'll see down the line, you'll be able to hold me to account in years to come and tell me whether I was right or wrong. But I think, I'm still a silver bug compared to gold. If it's gold or silver, I'm still silver every day of the week at the minute.
Well, I'm going to speak about something a bit different. Diamonds. I came across an article that I thought was really interesting. So, European scientists are using diamonds to build a new quantum computer that works without needing to be cooled to ultra-low temperatures.
Well, bouncing back to the world of gold, I'm just going to share a screen with you guys. Yeah. The world's biggest buyers of gold are now among Eastern European central banks. Mm-hmm. Poles, Czechs, Serbs, Hungarians join effort to grow gold piles. We need to reduce volatility, Czech central bank chief says. I think this is quite an exciting article because Eastern Europe is on the cusp of all the war that's going on in Ukraine. People are scared that it's going to filter into their countries, and currencies are volatile at the moment. We're watching the US dollar collapse in front of our eyes, and Europe is in a bit of bother, and gold is such a crucial thing to have in your strategic reserves to keep your country afloat. What are your thoughts on this, James?
Yeah, well, it says it all. the title of that news clip says it all. Yeah, you don't need to know any more than that, really. It's, again, if you look back in history, you look back at the times like this, and the people that have purchased precious metals, gold and silver, have survived it. They've even thrived. And it really is that simple. I don't think it's ever going to change. Is playbook the right word? The same playbook, people that thought out of the box and purchase metals and have their savings in metals and something tangible have survived these times, and it's happened time and time and time again. But it's something to be said, isn't there? I mean, I think the Western society over the years has been pushed away from gold. You mentioned gold to a financial advisor in the UK, they'll look at you. They give you strange looks. They know nothing about it. Well, they don't earn from it, you see. They're not interested in it. It doesn't fit within the box. They're not interested.
Over the last few years, James, sorry to
it's okay.
There. I've been to 2 financial advisors, and all they want to do is sell you pension products. Now, every pensioner I know says their pension does not go anywhere near as far as they want. The sneaky thing I find with financial advisors, they go, how much do you want to earn a year when you retire? And that's your target. What they don't tell you is actually whatever your target is, double it, and that's what you need to earn a year to survive inflation. And as you said, they don't once mention gold, silver, precious metals.
The thing that worries me, Paul, is before we started the gold game back in 2014 when I started purchasing. Back then, Adam and myself, we were putting together financial planning. We worked within the financial sector, and we used to put together financial plans for families. It was all about education back then and planning. And we used to sit there with the family and put this plan together, and we had this retirement plan. We used to put all the numbers in. We used to scrutinise all their finances, everything, right down to the last penny. And we'd work out what they could save, if they could save, etc., etc. And we'd ask them what they would like to retire on, live a comfortable life, and not have to worry about debt and money, etc. And I don't think I ever sat with a family. I never sat with a family, whereas they could save enough today for their futures to live a comfortable retirement. They were nowhere near it because this plan factored in inflation. It factored in everything, and what you'd need to have, what size pot that you'd need to have in later life to live that lifestyle. And not one person I sat with had that. They had the pensions are so archaic in there's a pension time bomb going off. I think it's going to go off anyway. It's not looking good. It's the amount of customers that we speak to where they're just, like you just said, they're not getting enough at retirement. It's getting worse because of where people don't look at their retirement and what their retirement investments are in until they come to retirement. They need to look at it now, today.
Yeah.
And start asking questions.
James, I'm just jumping in here because I thought it's quite poignant. Me and you just saying it isn't enough. People need to see this written down in hard numbers. So I've just brought up a graph here, pensions versus gold over the last 30 years. I would like to point out to everybody right now, the yellow line is gold. It has always performed better than a pension. Now, why aren't financial advisors pushing that? Yeah. Why aren't financial advisors saying this? Because this is the truth. And that is the bit that horrifies me, that they are giving you potentially bad advice. Surely you should be able to sue them if they did something like this.
It's not rocket science, is it, when you look at the charts, when you do a little bit of research? You don't need to go far, do you? You don't need to dig too far to find this information. But people need to ask them questions sooner rather than later. Get involved with your pension. I know they make it complicated, I think, for a reason, Paul. They make it complicated for a reason, so people just forget about it. But the longer you leave it to ask them questions, the worse off you'll be. There is things you can do to set up your own SIP, for instance, which is your own self-administered pension. You can set one up yourself, and you can have gold in that plan. You can't have silver, but you can at least have gold in there. And people can do this. Yeah, even if you couldn't do that, even if you couldn't do anything with the pension that you've got right now, how's about if you do have spare cash, start having your own pension plan in gold, and just start purchasing gold or silver outside of your pension and set up something that you're in control of. So normally there's always something you can do. Most people can do something, even if it's just buy some yourself,
Yeah, and let's not forget, for most people, you can access your gold and silver whenever you want. You don't have to wait until the day you retire, where some fat finance man who's been making a truckload of money off your pension goes, yeah, we'll give you this now, and we think your pension is worth this a year. Who are you to tell me what my money is worth?
Yeah. And that's
my personal opinion.
They get paid no matter what.
Yeah.
That's the point. And they're only interested in what they do and where they get paid. I can see it from their point of view to a certain degree, but it's not the way we work. We only get involved where the customer benefits. We can still earn a living and get by, but it's number one, the customer first, not us. And it's a shame. It's a shame the world doesn't work that way. It really is. But yeah, just please, anybody watching this, if you got a pension, ask the questions, find out what it's invested in, and can you invest in some precious metal, even if it was just 10%. 10% in gold is going to make a difference over time. 10% of your failing that, you can set something up yourself, or you can start just buying metals anyway outside of your pension, so you've got something else to rely on. And the sooner you
James, this is why we've brought yourself and Adam on, because it's a minefield out there, and knowing which way to go and who to speak to. And you and Adam at Goldbusters are a fountain of knowledge in actually trying to get people to secure their futures the right way. Yeah.
We'll always get back to people, even if they don't come to us to buy metals. It doesn't matter. It's about them, not us. The amount of time most of the time we can help people, but on the odd occasion that we can't, we'll send them somewhere else, or we'll point them in the right direction at least. Or, if we can't help them, we'll just tell them. We'll tell them straight. But we'll always try and help anybody that comes to us. It's the way everyone should work, I'm afraid. But I'm afraid they don't.
Well, I have a fun fact of the day for you guys. Did you know another metal used when making rose gold is copper? And to finish off the show, Paul, have you anything else to enlighten us on?
I do indeed, Drew. Give me 2 seconds. Wow, I tell you what, isn't it nice when you have ground that you don't know how valuable it is? China has found a gold deposit worth £65 billion. And this is just phenomenal. And by the looks of it, it's going to be a big one that they're going to use. Hell of a lot. And gold is a hard resource to find. So when you find something like that, I can imagine the guy's jaw just went.
How deep down they have to go, and the machinery they have to use, and what the whole process of mining gold is. It's just amazing. It's amazing. It's been around 1,000 years, and I still think it will still be around in thousands of years. And if we were to look into the future, it will still be there. It will still be as valuable as it is now, I believe.
Thanks, James. Well, that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for joining us on The Gold Show. This week's lucky winner is Michael Radford. Congratulations, you've won a 1 ounce silver coin. And here are 3 of our lucky winners. If you want to join our weekly competition to win a 1 ounce silver coin, watch our show and then go to our website, thegoldshow.com/competition, and answer the question each week. Just a reminder, you have to re-enter each week to enter into the lucky draw. Any questions about any of the topics we have discussed today, email questions@thegoldshow.com, which will be read out on next week's show. And on that note, have a wonderful weekend, guys.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Right, so everyone. So if you're interested in securing your finances and starting on your precious metals journey, just get in touch with Goldbusters. Drop us a line, and we'll get back to you, and we'll point you in the right direction. Get you started. Get you moving. it's definitely the right way forward. So bye now. Thank you.
Bye bye.